Welcome back to our channel The Enigma with another interesting video. As we always say, subscribe to our channel and make sure you do not miss any future updates. Press the bell icon if you like to get notification once we upload a new video. Our universe is riddled with mysteries, not just in the past, but also in the future. Many things will remain a mystery. Why? Even your companion may have several secrets that are mysteries for you. But today, we're going to show you some ancient places that are still a mystery and some that have lately been discovered. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon is an unsolved enigma, but new evidence suggests searching elsewhere. About 225 BC, a Greek engineer named Philo compiled a list of 7 temata, which became known as the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The major riddle of the list is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which are said to be the work of Babylon's renowned king Nebuchadrezzar ir 605,561 BC. Researchers are still trying to figure out where such gardens could have been in Babylon, as well as what made them so distinctive. The Hanging Gardens were built on a vast platform of palm beams supported on stone columns, covered with a thick layer of earth, and filled with various trees and flowers. Historians think the chapter in Diodorus Bibliotheca Historica recounts the gardens is based on a book by Cleitochus, an Alexander the Great biographer who lived in the late 4th century BC. The most essential information in this work is that Alexander the Great was a Babylonian priest who lived in the early 3rd century BC, and Berossus described towering stone terraces bordered with trees and flowers. All texts that mention a Babylonian garden notable for being suspended or tiered come from the 4th century BC at the earliest. Herodotus makes no mention of these amazing gardens, and there is no mention of any high gardens in the city in the manuscripts recovered during Nebuchadrezzar's reign. According to Josephus, the gardens of Babylon were located within the royal palace. The building was discovered in the northeast corner of the southern palace by German archaeologist Robert Koldewey. However, most experts believe it was a storehouse. Leonard Woolley was excavating the ancient Sumerian city of Ur to the southeast of Babylon when he noticed regularly spaced flaws in the ziggurats masonry. Scientists have proposed a radical rethinking of the hunt for the Hanging Gardens. What if they were never found in Babylon? This hypothesis is not as far-fetched as it appears at first glance, because Greco-Roman sources referencing the Hanging Gardens frequently present historical detail interwoven with myth and legend, and their accounting of the history of great Mesopotamian civilizations frequently confused Assyria and Babylonia. Diodorus depicts Babylon's walls, revealing its beautiful portrayal of animals, pursued by Queen Semiramis on horseback in the process of hurling a javelin at a leopard, and alongside her husband Ninus in the act of thrusting a spear at a leopard. Anyhow, still this being an unsolved mystery. What do you think of it? And let us know your view on this in comments. Plain of Jars. The Plain of Jars is located in Laos, among the mountains. The gigantic stone jars, some of which are over 10 feet tall, date back 2,500 years and have no known use. The presence of nearby human bones suggests that the jars were used for burial or to contain rotting remains before they were burned or moved to another stage of the funeral ritual. However, locals believe the jars contain whiskey for a mythological giant or rice wine to commemorate giants assisting them in defeating adversaries. Because to the presence of undetonated U.S. bombs from the Vietnam War, only 7 of the 60 Plain of Jars location are exposed to the public. If you have visited this location before, could you tell us what you believe this is? Giza Pyramids of Egypt. The Giza Pyramids were erected 4,500 years ago and are remains of Egypt's Old Kingdom era. Pharaoh Khufu initiated the first pyramid project, which is the biggest and weighs 2.5 to 15 tons on average. The second pyramid, which contained the Sphinx, was completed by Pharaoh Khafre, while Pharaoh Menkaure built a more sophisticated funerary temple. Archaeological excavations on the site have revealed a highly structured, resource-rich community that must have been supported by a strong central authority. The pyramids, according to Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities and National Geographic Explorer in Residence, helped to construct and preserve Egypt. The Giza Archives project is a collection of images, blueprints, sketches, manuscripts, item records, and expedition diaries that allow visitors to tour the pyramids virtually. It saves faded artwork and inscriptions, recovers lost or ruined objects, and unlocks tombs that were previously inaccessible to the public. Dermonwellian intends to expand the collection to become the world's major online repository for GIZA-related material. And the next ancient site we'll talk about is Sigiriya Kingdom in Sri Lanka. Sigiriya Lion Rock is a remarkable and spectacular monument in Sri Lanka, with a vertigo-inducing stairway attached to it. The rock's origins are unknown, but it is one of Sri Lanka's most interesting and stunning locations. Sigiriya's garden city and palace are thought to have been constructed by King Kashyapa 477 to 495 AD. Kashyapa was a parasite who murdered his father and took the crown, according to the Mahavamsa. Prof. Senior at Paranavadana, on the other hand, has presented a different account of Kashyapa, based on a narrative recorded in the 15th century by a monk called Ananda. According to the historical tale Katbitha, a Christian cross was constructed on top of Sigiriya. Notwithstanding these perplexing features, Sigiriya, with its frescoes, water gardens, moats, and ramparts planned as an eco-plan, will continue to awe and intrigue visitors for ages. Others claim that the entire history of Sigiriya is a fabrication of Sri Elnaknas, and it was created by King Ravanan. Afterwards, Kashyapa arrived and shielded himself from his brother Mughal. Yet, the true history of this location remains a mystery. How could they have simbed the stone without steps? How the ponds on the property were filled with water throughout the year? The unsolved mystery is still unsolved. SIGIRIYA. Numerous issues surround the stone edifice built by the Incans at Cusco, Peru. It was previously assumed to be a stronghold, but evidence eventually revealed that it was utilized for rituals. SIGIRIYA's construction is astonishing regardless of its purpose. Its stones fit together so well that it stays solid even without cement binding them in place. While they fit together tightly, they aren't all the same form, implying that the design was established as the structure was being built. Add to it the fact that transporting the stones, which might weigh over 100 tons, was an accomplishment in and of itself, and SIGIRIYA is an ancient mystery. Thonis Heracleion. Thonis Heracleion, an Egyptian port city, functioned as the Mediterranean's entrance around 2,700 years ago, but the city core was lost in time for thousands of years. It wasn't until the early 2000s that some old relics were discovered by a crew of divers. They eventually discovered an entire city buried beneath the Egyptian shore, complete with bridges, 16-foot sculptures, animal sarcophagi, and other ancient wonders. Archaeologists are unsure how an entire city ended up in the Mediterranean Sea, but they suspect that around the end of the 1st century BC, a combination of tsunami, earthquake, and increasing sea levels caused the soil to liquefy sufficiently to sink completely by AD 800. Paracas candelabra. The candelabra of the Andes, etched into a petrified sand mound in Peru, is comparable to the Nazca lines, but contains its own secrets. The 600-foot-long item was made about 200 BC, but no one knows what it represents, though it isn't ta candelabra, as its name implies. Some believe it was made as a homage to the Incan deity of creation, Virikaka, while others believe it symbolized the hallucinogenic gems in weed and would entice people who were taking it. See these sites that may perish in your lifetime before it's too late. Please like the video and share among your friends. Thank you.